In this session, let's learn about grouping function. Okay, so in the previous sessions, we learnt how to display the subtotals and the grand totals using rollup and cube, right? Now, whenever you want to send this data as a file to a business or to some other third party application which is processing this data, it is very difficult for the application to identify which row is a total, which row is a subtotal, which row is a grand total, or which row is the actual row. It is very difficult, right? So to identify which is the grand total or which is the subtotal or which is the actual row, we use the grouping function. Okay, this grouping function takes single column as a parameter. That parameter is one of your group by columns. Okay, here you see I am using a grouping function and I use the first group by column, and here grouping and the product name, which is my second group by column. So, and I'm creating the column flag 1 and flag 2, and in the group by I am using a cube. Okay, so how does the output look like? So it looks like, we know the cube function displays the subtotal for the first group by column and for the second group by column like this. You see the flag 1 and flag 2. How to read these values whenever the application is processing? Flag 0 and 0. That means it's a regular subtotal which we expect from the group by operation. Flag 1 is 0 and flag 2 is 1. This represents the subtotal for the distinct value of the sales month. That means if there is a 0 in the flag 1 and if there is a value 1 in the flag 2, that means that is a subtotal for the value in the sales month. Okay, and whenever there is 1 in the flag 1 and 0 in the flag 2, that means the subtotal is for one of the values in the product name. Okay, and whenever there is a 1 in the flag 1 and 1 in the flag 2, that means it is the grand total. Okay, like this, using this flag 1 and flag 2, whatever the application is reading this data can easily identify what that subtotal is for. Okay, now let's take a look at the demo. Okay, so let me create the column grouping using the grouping function. Grouping, okay, and I'll use the first column. Okay, first group by column, and I'll mention here, okay, as flag 1. Okay, and I'll create another column grouping of product name. Okay, and I'll close it and say flag 2. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, so the output is display. Okay, so what does flag 1 0 and flag 2 0 mean? It means it is a total for the actual group by column. Okay, flag 1 is 0 and flag 2 is 1. That means it is a subtotal for the sales month. Okay, like this, wherever it is 0 and 1, it means it is a subtotal for the sales month. And when you come at the end, whenever there is flag 1 is 1 and flag 2 is 0, that means it is a subtotal for the product name. And if you come to the end, 1 and 1 in these columns means it is a grand total. Okay, like this, you can use the grouping function to identify which is the subtotal, which is the grand total, and which is the actual total. Okay.